Hello everyone, happy new year. It is me, your lovely host, the Gaming Weasel. Hopefully you had an amazing holiday and hopefully you're enjoying yourself in 2024. I wanted to thank all of you for the amazing support over the last year. 2024 will be much better, 1080p streams, many more videos and many more builds for you guys and guides, so stick around and let's have some fun together. But I know what will keep your attention, this Khora build, and the perfect core build, at least in my opinion, in Warframe. So without any further delay, what will this build do for you? First of all, it will allow you to survive basically anything, basically turning you invulnerable. No prime sure-footed or Arcane Energize needed. We do get millions of red crit, the big corrosive damage dealing numbers. We have crowd controlling, we have a basically infinite energy, and we also get extra loot, and I think this is pretty much the perfect Warframe for Steel Path. But her first ability is Whip Claw. Now, Whip Claw's base damage is 300, at least in my scenario. It is dependent on power strength. Now, it has impact, puncture, and slash, and the damage is distributed equally between all three of these. Whip Claw also has its innate 25% critical chance, 2.0 critical multiplier, and a 20% status chance. Now, this is a pseudo-exalted melee weapon, meaning that your melee mods are very important, and so is your melee combo counter and ability strength, and that is basically what the damage of Whip Claw is affected by. Another good mod that is going to be very good, accumulating Whip Claw. Now, every time you strike down 3 enemies in a single cast, you will gain 35% stacking damage that stacks up to 350%. Now, Ensnare is her second ability. This will trap in enemies, and you also get a base and I guess a static 2.0 damage multiplier when enemies are hit with Whip Claw. Her third ability, Venari. Yes, our little cat is going to be going bye-bye because what we're going to be putting here is going to be Lycan's Hunt. Now, this didn't really change from my last build because the Lycan's Hunt is just incredibly good. It will give you health orbs on enemy melee kills. So if you kill them with your melee weapon, your Whip Claw, that is, you will get health orbs. If you do headshots, you will get energy, but we don't really need that. And killing an enemy that has 3 or more status effects on them will prolong the duration. And then we have Strangle Dome. Strangle Dome, you can summon 2 of them, it traps enemies in, and it also redirects fire from you to enemies, which is very good. And once you strike down enemies with your Whip Claw, the damage will get distributed 50% from the main target. Now, we do have Pilfering Strangledome. This augment will give us extra loot, and that being 65% chance when enemies are killed that are held inside of the Strangledome. Now, that is very nice, but what is even nicer is the core build that I have shown for you guys. Now, the core build, as I said, didn't really change much. For survivability, Brief Respite, Rolling Guard. We do have Arcane Blessing that is going to give us health, but is not necessary here. If you're really good with Brief Respite and Rolling Guard and just, I guess, shield getting in general, you can survive on that pretty easily. Accumulating Whip Claw, Pilfering Strangledome, we talked about those two, but Equilibrium we didn't. Now, this is where Lycan's Hunt and Arcane Blessing come in handy. This will give us health orbs and energy orbs, conversion rate being 110%, so if you pick up either or, you will get the other one at a conversion rate of 110%. With Lycan's Hunt, you're basically getting a lot of health orbs, meaning you're getting a lot of energy, meaning you have basically infinite energy. Now, Arcane Blessing, every time you pick up a health orb, it will increase your permanent health, that being very, very nice. Prime Flow, pretty good, Prime Continuity, and Umbral Intensify. Now, if you don't have the Prime mods, use the base ones. The only one that is going to be really good is Prime Flow, and I'll talk about that in just a second. Now, we do also have Archon Swords. We have 5 of them, one giving us max energy. This one can be changed out for melee damage, but I sadly don't have one at the moment, but this could be even better. But the 50 energy is going to come in handy, and I'll talk about that in just a second. We have one, of course, Tau Forge, the one that is going to give us less damage, 32%, and an additional 2 of them being red ones, giving us 25% melee critical damage. And we also have a purple one. Now, the purple one, what is it going to do? Is it going to give us more damage? Well, of course it is. It was going to give us a base 25%. Well, base if it's not Tile Forged. If it's Tile Forged, then a 37% melee critical damage boost. And if your energy is over 500, this bonus is doubled. So, get as many purple swords as you possibly can. Replace that blue one that I have right there, put in a purple one, and there you go. You're pretty much set. We are using the focus school of choice, being Power Spike, but Neramon. Power Spike being the one that you want maxed out. This will allow your melee combo counter to decay, because it's very important, instead of fully disappearing, and then opening Slam. This is going to be very good. Performing a ground slam with your operator will transform you into your Warframe and give you double, basically, combo count. This is going to be very nice, because combo count equals crit damage, crit chance equals basically a lot of your damage, and a lot of damage is going to come from your melee weapon. What melee weapon are we using? It is going to be the Magistar Incarnate, the base one, not the Sancti Magistar. Now, we are focusing mainly on damage here, just damage, and damage. With corrosive, you are going to be basically ignoring enemy armor and reducing it at the same time, keeping that in mind. I have tested out viral. Viral is not as effective, and plus corrosive is effective with a lot of enemies, especially corrupted and grenade enemies, which are the tougher ones. You're going to be killing them much easier. Now, as you see, we do have a melee arcane, and it is melee exposure. Now, melee exposure will grant you on ability cast 60% corrosive damage. Now, on melee strengths, and this will stack up to 240%. Now, something that you can use, but is definitely not necessary, is melee vortex. Is this now? What this is gives you, I can't apparently speak, a 45% chance to drag enemies in within 80 meters when you kill an enemy affected by magnetic status effects. Yes, that is it. Now, if you don't really want to focus on its there, which I don't find a reason why wouldn't you, you can use this, but melee vortex is why I mentioned it mostly is because, of course, the primers. Now, necessarily you don't need primers. The two ones that I have are going to be the Aceto, which looks like this. It is primarily for priming, as I said. The damage is secondary here, and or the Epitaph. Now, you can use either one of these two for priming, and that is why I have Magnetic. Magnetic is here primarily for melee vortex when I use it. Magnetic is not necessary, but condition overload doesn't really pick what status it is. It just increases your damage based on the status itself. Now, let's talk about our little cat. You might be asking yourself, well, we replaced Venari with Lycan's Hunt, but Venari is still moddable, meaning her abilities still work, and or also her mods still work, one of them being a Tenacious Bond. Now, there is a headshot here. On headshot kills, you reduce the commander's recovery. We don't care about that, but what we do is, if the companion's critical chance is over 50%, then you gain an additional 1.2 times final critical damage multiplier, and that is very nice, because this is on top of everything we have listed up until this point. Now, we do also have Tandem Bond, and everything else is basically survivability. Now, let's talk about the main companion, being Worm. We are using him for survivability. We have Guardian, Negate, Shield Charger, and Mediray for survivability. Negate is being here because of status immunity, and we have Contagious Bond, Manifold Bond, and Mystic Bond. We have Calculated Redirection, Prime Regen for survivability, and Vacuum for sucking things up. So that is basically it. With this, you are able to do everything possible and imaginable inside of Steel Path. Now, some other weapons that you can use, primary and secondaries, that's honestly personal preference. But the melee weapon, a lot of people ask, Whip Claw's damage is based on the mods, not on the actual weapon. Another cool weapon is going to be the Ceramic Dagger and Cornin. You can use that. Keep in mind, you cannot use weapons such as the 10 melee weapons and or glaives, because the combo counter will reset, so keep that in mind. And everything else you can possibly use. If you have a Riven for a melee weapon, use that and basically just make your weapon do even more damage. I sadly don't have one, that's why I didn't use one, but this is basically then usable by everyone. All you need to do is get yourself a Magus Star and a lot of these mods and you're pretty much set. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, do leave a like, a comment, do subscribe for more. I'm interested down below what I could have changed, what I could have done better. That blue Archon shard is still poking my eye out, but I like it there. And I do love all of you guys. As I said, happy 2024, and I will see you guys on the next live stream or video. The Gaming Weasel over and out.